Welcome back to Morning in America. 20 minutes past the hour right now. The White House is saying that the terrorist who took 4 people hostage this weekend inside of a synagogue in the Dallas area did not qualify for the FBI's no-fly list, despite having been the subject of a 2020 UK possible terrorist investigation. That's according to reports.
Our understanding, and obviously we're still looking into this, is that he was checked against U.S. government databases multiple times prior to entering the country, and the U.S. government did not have any derogatory information about the individual in our systems at the time of entry. We're certainly looking back, as I referenced, at what occurred to learn every possible lesson we can to prevent attacks like this in the future.
The terrorist, 44-year-old British citizen Malik Faisal Akram, arrived in New York on a tourist visa 2 weeks ago. Niall, Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill, joining me now. Good morning to you, Niall. This understandably would cause outrage, not just among those in the faith community, specifically the Jewish community, but across the country. If someone who was probed by UK intelligence officials, but still allowed to enter the U.S., shouldn't that raise concerns? Shouldn't these agencies be talking more clearly with one another?
I think you're certainly right that it raises concerns, Adrienne, especially given the gravity of this situation. Where the fault lies seems to me to be a bit of a different question. The investigation that you just mentioned by British authorities was closed by those authorities, believing that this man did not pose a threat. So it seems to me that if you're looking for the weak link in the chain here, it seems to be in London or in Lancashire rather than in Langley or Quantico with American intelligence agencies.
And the UK apparently had concluded upon investigating him that he no longer posed a danger, though again it was a terror-based investigation. Should the U.S. consider, and this would be a question for the Biden administration, adding people to the no-fly list who are merely investigated for terrorist suspicions? Is that too broad? I would think a lot of Americans would think absolutely not.
I think you're right about that. I would say that people do want the absolute maximum amount of security. There are, though, a couple of questions. One is purely from a security perspective, risk assessment matters and calculating risk. Security agencies have a finite number of people and a finite amount of time to investigate, and they're trying to find the bad needles in the haystack. Now, if you broaden that out to everyone who has ever been investigated and cleared by foreign agencies, then you're expanding the size of the haystack enormously. And the question is that the best use of American intelligence resources? And
a lot of people would say we can't afford not to have added scrutiny to this process. One more question for you. We were hearing from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki promising to, quote, learn every possible lesson we can to prevent attacks like this. But realistically, what steps could the administration actually do to close up gaps like this in the future expediently, like immediately taking those kinds of actions?
So the administration hasn't provided any specificity on that yet, Adrienne, but I think it gets back to your original question about communication between American agencies and other intelligence agencies, particularly in closely allied nations like Britain. That seems like something that will certainly be looked at, notwithstanding all the other additional complications that we just discussed.
Right, complications. That's one way to describe it for sure. Niall, as always, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
You too, Adrienne.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.